कप्तान सर, हेलो मैम लॉग इन करता है 2 मिनट आले की मग आपण ओके
ओके
मैडम
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm here.
Yeah, sir is there, ma'am. Yeah. कप्तान सर,
oh
Sir, good afternoon.
मैम has come.
yes
Ma'am has
okay
joined. Yeah.
Sir, आपण फर्स्ट स्लाइडला जाऊया का?
ओके मॅम सुरू करू मग मी आता
हो
हा?
सर.
Please.
श्यामला मॅम, we'll begin.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Would you like to say a few sentences, ma'am, before he begins?
Yes. As usual, I'm very happy. Kaptan sir needs no introduction to our team now. And I'm very happy that this is the third in the series that he's presenting to us. Sir, we look for many more lectures from your side. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Kaptan sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Before I start, the title today for this session is Commerce Graduate in a Competitive World. Basically, it is related with skill advancement because in the first two sessions, we have seen various aspects of our program, especially commerce program. And today we shall see how the commerce program can help you to make a good career and what are the challenges ahead. Many of us might have failed in some of the endeavors. Many of us might have faced many problems, many challenges. The real life world is very different. It is just like this. Just see this small film. That is what is real life. Many times we have failed, all of us, including myself, we have faced frustration, we have failed that nothing is now possible, stress, many types of miseries and many other problems have often made our life extremely miserable. But is it that we have stopped? Hardly any one of us has stopped making a career, making some achievements and going ahead, because life is not stopping at some point. Depression, frustration is everyday's experience. But does it mean that we should not work? The answer is no, we should. And that is why making a career, especially in the young age of yours, becomes very essential. It is a crux of your life, because if you stop at particular point of time saying that no further chances are not there, no hope is there, then definitely it will be a biggest obstacle. Most of the major obstacles come because of wrong mindset. If you want to make a good career, then you have to consider certain things. First is your goals, what you want to be. Second is your choice, in what way you want to achieve these goals. And third, whenever there is a choice of a particular career, a particular profession, a particular vocation, a business activity, or whatever in life, there will be many challenges. There is no profession, there is no field in the life which is not having any obstacle or a challenge or ordeal, and therefore coping up with all such obstacles and then making a good career. Hence, my friend, please try to understand, whenever we are entering the real world of industry, business, employment, we should before enter know certain things, especially for commerce graduates. The first, degree is not enough. Whatever marks you have scored in your graduation, in your post graduation, is no guarantee of your success. Second important thing, the certificate where from you have passed an examination, which institute you have learned, and how that institute has awarded you a degree also matters very little. What really requires is, what do you know, how and in what way, what is the level of proficiency, what is the level of competence that you have acquired, because that is what is expected by the employers and industries. Today, the days are gone that people were offered jobs with the help of their degrees and the institution that backed them. Placement is basically now based on your ability, your competence, your caliber, and the manner in which you can perform the job. So let us understand certain basic terms. Skills, very important. All of us are now talking of skills and skill enhancement. Everyone says that you have to acquire some skills. But what exactly is a skill? It is ability to perform different tasks because of experience and training. That means unless until we learn, we cannot have skills. My friend, many of you during your BCom might have learned some aspects of computation and computers, maybe some basic languages, some basic programs. That becomes your introduction to the field of computation and computational technology. But if you master it in some or other way, whether hardwares or softwares, naturally that will add to your qualification along with commerce qualification. That will be your skill, ability. Many of you might have studied accountancy very well or administration. Many times I have come across people who say I have taken administration, business administration as my specialization, and they know all the theories of leadership, but can they lead? To lead a group is different than knowing the theories of leadership. To lead a group is what is your competence, and most important thing is your aptitude. Please try to understand. Many of us have very good capacity, competence, ability, skills, but then we have often seen that people, in spite of all these things, cannot perform. They immediately get frustrated. They immediately start failing. They often feel that nothing further good is possible. They immediately are caught by an extraordinary level of negativity. This is the result of your aptitude. How often we feel that in spite of challenges, I can succeed. Okay, problems are there, but I want to win and therefore. So please try to understand, this is a very famous quote. Only the people who take learning, growth, and skill development in their own hands will be tomorrow's leaders. That is very true. I will explain this point at length, and at that time, again, I will remind you of this quotation. But try to understand, whenever I talk of skills, we are having different types of skills in our mind, especially for a commerce graduate. We have to consider what are the different types of skills that we can acquire. First is job specific skills. Whenever someone wants to become a finance manager, a marketing manager, a sales officer, an accountant, or even for that matter, office manager or a general manager, we are talking of job specific skills. When I say I want to become an accountant or a financial analyst, I should be very much well versed with the concept of balance sheet, reading the financial statement, interpreting them, and even applying them to solve a particular business problem. I just cannot say that I have scored 90 out of 100 in the paper of accountancy and therefore I have job skills related to accountancy. Can I pass a journal entry? Can I maintain accounts? Can I write the accounts properly and even read them or rather interpret them according to the requirements of my employer? Is a job specific skill. Skills, job specific skills are required for a particular job. Whenever we have a job in mind, maybe as I have told you about accountancy or marketing, many times, just some month before, 2 months before, I had a chance to become to work on a panel of experts for HDFC Bank, who want the bank wanted to recruit some people for their office job, back office jobs. And whenever we have asked the students, are you proficient with the computers? Most of them said yes. But then when they were asked, can you do this type of activity, the particular type of activities on computers? Most of them said, no, I have not been taught about this. I do not know this program. No, that means you do not have a job particular specific skill sets. And then there are transferable skill sets. Please try to understand. Many things are not taught in the classroom. It cannot be taught in the classroom rightly. But when we observe people, how they speak, how they behave, how they understand others, how they treat others, how they respect, and even get the things done. What we learn is not only experience, we learn the style of doing the things. That is what is a transferable skill. Let us understand why these skills are important in this competitive world. This is a small film that will explain you this point very well. Many times we have come across people who fail, but then how they overcome the failure.
After being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. He wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and his teachers said he would never amount to much. Was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. Fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. At age 11, he was cut from his team after being diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency, which made him smaller in stature than most kids his age. At 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. A high school dropout whose personal struggles with drugs and poverty culminated in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything and that he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business." His first book was rejected by 27 publishers. His fiancée died, failed in business, had a nervous breakdown, and was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never tried anything new.
Just try to understand. Failure is a part of life. It is essence of every endeavor. Many times our colleagues who are working with us, who are with us as our fellow colleagues as students, initially we find them very dull, dumb and very ordinary. But in their career, they make a very great success. How they do it? Because they have digested the failure. And to digest failure, to overcome any kind of depression or failure, and to go ahead, what we need is a positive mind and a right kind of skill sets which will help you to become different than others. Please try to understand. We require different types of skills in every profession, but certain skills are essential. Without which in no profession you can be successful. These are computational skills in a modern world, communicational skills, assertiveness skills, and negotiation skills. Our growth depends on how effectively we can master these skills. Please remember, a commerce graduate is expected to work in the field. He is expected to deal with a variety of people and stakeholders. He is expected to face every day a new situation with a specific one monotonous way of doing the things. He cannot succeed. Rather, unless until he has a diversified and multifarious approach to solve the problems, he will not. And that is why he should and he must possess right skill sets. These are the features of good skill sets. First, every skill set must improve your acceptability. Rather, when you acquire a good skill sets, your chances of acceptability automatically enhance. Second and very important thing, risk of obsolescence. I have one example from Kirloskar brothers, which is very glaring. This is a true story of a man, a person who was working in a factory in Kirloskar brothers. He was a foreman, almost a good engineer and a very good experienced technical staff. Once while working on the machine, suddenly some breakdown took place and he lost his left hand. Naturally, he became, in the eyes of the company managers, incompetent to work because it is required that the person who is working in the field on machines must possess both the hands. So the company management was having a problem, but they knew that this man is very good, very efficient, excellent in behavior. So naturally, the management, instead of removing him from the job, asked him what you can do. This is 1958. He said, I can do many other things than just mechanical work. I can write well, I can edit well, I have very good flair and command over language. The company management suddenly had a thought that why should we not start a separate house journal for Kirloskar group of industries? And a house journal came into existence and he became the first editor and he remained editor for almost 20 years thereafter. You cannot become obsolete in any industry, in any business, in any field, provided you have multiple set of skills that are required. The fear of obsolescence, fear of removal from the job, fear of getting away from the mainstream jobs is automatically reduced. A student can increase his ability to negotiate. That is another thing. Many times we come across whenever we go for interview in a private business organization, after the primary interview, a question is asked in the second or final interview. What do you expect from this company? What emoluments? The ability to negotiate largely depends upon the variety of skills and level of competence that a person possesses. If you are a mono-skilled person, just knowing only accountancy or marketing or something, naturally your chances of working in a broader perspective are reduced. And so you cannot negotiate, you have to accept, rather you have to accept the command of the company. So how skills work? It helps to create a higher chance of acceptability. That is very important. Remember, many times there are a good number of people I have seen, you also might have seen, who started at a very low level of company business or business organizations. But suddenly they have rose and they have even surpassed many of their colleagues in a very short period of time, not because they were known to the management. Their skills were known to the management. And of course, a good skill set helps a person to develop his total personality. You all must have certain skills right now. When you are in your MCOM program, you should be in a position to lead your group. You should be able to think differently in a creative manner. I will tell you in some separate session how to think create in a creative manner. Most important thing is time management. How effectively we manage our time. Remember, everyone has 24 hours. No person can get a day of 26 or 28 or 30 hours. But how much you can do, how multifarious job, how multifarious reading and learning you can do in all these 24 hours, how better you manage your time as a resource. Remember, this is the only resource that can never come back. Once gone is once lost. Once wasted is never recouped. And therefore, effective understanding of time management. What is the necessity now? Please try to understand. This is a very different kind of world. Every day, technology is changing very fast. Every day, many fields of learning are becoming just meaningless, and many industries, many techniques, and many technologies are becoming obsolete. If you continue with the presumption that I have passed an examination like MCOM and so I must get a job, you are living in a very different world, a world of imagination which is never going to come true. Please remember, survival in this advancing world depends totally on your competence and level of your caliber, your capacity and capability to perform multifarious jobs. Second thing, you cannot compete with many others. Remember, every day some lakh people are passing this graduation or post-graduation examination in the field of commerce. We are facing lateral as well as vertical competition. Competition from the commerce graduates on one side, which is lateral, and vertical competition from other disciplines, graduates of other disciplines. Your survival depends on how better you project yourself in this competitive world. And most important thing, the level of achievements are growing. Let me explain it this way. If you have ever gone through the records of Olympic winners right from 1952 till this date, then you will notice that the world record in Olympic Games in 1952, 54 or whatever has now become a very simple thing for even a commoner to achieve in inter-collegiate competitions, because the level of performance, the level of achievement has gone far ahead. And further, most important thing, our society also is changing. With every addition of new segment of industry, with every level of expansion of economy, expectations of employers, businessmen, organizations keep on increasing. With these enhanced expectations, we cannot survive unless and until we become competent and ready for employment. So, what every commerce graduate must possess as skills? Three basic skills. Basically, decision-making skills, organizational skills, and interpersonal. Because commerce is a discipline where you are rather not expected to work in a monotonous manner, like a mechanical engineer or a computer operator. On the contrary, you will be facing a diversified situation, multiple types of problems, and diversified sets of people with whom you are going to interact. Therefore, your employability depends on the skill sets which make you more aware, dexterous, and competent. Like this, a commerce graduate must possess workplace skills. That is very essential. Whatever job, whatever field, whatever branch that is assigned to us, maybe product, some aspects of factory, general administration, finance, marketing, or human resources, or for that matter, even in some other disciplines. These workplace skills always help us to exhibit our caliber, our competence, and cultivate a positive attitude. Please remember, many times when you join a job, initially you are asked to do something very simple. But that is the taste of your dexterity, how fast, how efficiently, how quickly, how promptly, how correctly we perform that job. If you pass that particular level, automatically you go ahead and then you are expected to perform something challenging. There are many examples of employability skills like this: flexibility. Many people often feel that if I am appointed as an accountant or a marketing manager, I will not do something related with sales or production or finance. No, we should have that flexibility of mind and approach to prove that yes, I am ready to do many new things. Most important thing for every person in every job, in every organization, whether he is trustworthy. Many times people, for the sake of immediate gains, short-term gains, often make a breach of trust. Once you make a breach of trust, you are useless in any organization. Self-discipline. Please do not expect your officers, your managers, your in charge to tell you how to behave and how to maintain time schedules. How to come to the work in the right time, workplace punctuality is a matter of self-discipline. The more you exhibit it, the more you are liked by your superiors. Professional attitude. Always take a feeling that I can solve the problem. If there is a problem, there has to be a solution. And do it on your own. Take initiative. Do not expect orders, commands every time from your bosses. And for that, you require skill development. A skill is a ability to do something new. It helps you to go ahead. Many times with further efficiency, with expansion of capabilities, your efficiency enhances. You might have seen people, even in a hotel, in a restaurant, that a person who is cutting vegetables often cuts it so fast, so quick, and so good. We are aghast, surprised. How fast he can do it, how well. That is the skill that he has acquired. You might have seen or you might have listened to certain songs of certain great singers. With such a great ease they sing. It is because they have developed their skills. Whether a person is a sweeper, a singer, or even an administrator, his ability is verified on the basis of the manner in which he performs, the efficiency, the productivity, and the promptness and the agility. And therefore, please remember, in the coming world, which is highly technologically complex, which is taken grip by various types of new concepts of work, our survival depends on our agility. Like this. Please remember, with every advancement of technology, industry expectations are changing. Employers are expecting many new skills. Employers are expecting you to perform in a different way. Many things that you know today will almost become useless in a small span of 5 or 6 years or even 3 years. So if you go with a asset called knowledge that you have acquired today, it may become useless tomorrow. Better you go with the knowledge for tomorrow and you will become relevant to today. And therefore, you must acquire certain different types of skills simultaneously, core skills and secondary skills. Core skills are the skills that are essential, absolutely essential for every industry, such as accounting, marketing, financial planning, production engineering. They are core skills. They will remain, but remember their nature is continuously changing. Without such core skills, no one will be able to function. Without knowing basics of accountancy, you will never become an accountant, even if you can handle the computers effectively. But then, what kind of computation is done by computers related with accounting will decide what kind of accounting knowledge is required from you. And another is secondary skills. The skills that add to your competence, that add to your personality, the skills that change your appearance, your presentation style, and your way of doing the things with others. These are the core skills. Most important is creative thinking or creativity or innovativeness. Please remember, the people who think differently, the people who solve the same problem in different ways, rather can solve the same problem in different ways, in a better way, in a faster, rapid, and quick manner, usually are required. All of us can solve the problem, but how fast we can solve the problem. I know of one cricketer. He was rejected twice. But then he said to the coach in Bombay club that, sir, I have a different knack of bowling. You please give me a chance. And that bowler was given a chance in a very small ordinary tournament, Kanga versus uh, Mumbai club. And in that match, he exhibited a new style of bowling which was never seen, which was never heard of. So naturally, the coach asked him, what have you done? He said, I have watched and I have verified all the bowlers for last so many days. I found that none of them bowls in this way. So I have practiced it and I have developed it. And I know this, and only I know this because I have invented it. This is creativity. The name of this bowler is Subhash Gupte, the famous and greatest coach of Australian cricket team from India. Productivity enhancement, very important. Please remember, one can do the job, but how efficiently he can do it, how fast, how much resources he can save, maybe in terms of time, money, or material. Efficiency of working matters most whenever it comes to competition, whenever it comes to challenging situations. And therefore, these are the core skills which every person must acquire. These are the secondary skills. As I have told you, your impression, your personality is decided by in the manner in which you acquire these secondary skills. Your personality, your capacity, your behavior in a group, the manner in which you develop or build your image in a company, in an organization, in a group, and how you help positively to solve the problems. Many times, many of us do not feel that problem solving is essential. Rather, they keep on watching others. They feel that this is not my cup of tea. Rather, I will not try because what will happen if I fail? No, that is the wrong side and that is the wrong way of doing the things. Transferable skills are the skills which every employer expects from every new employee. Please try to understand these are the skills that can be learned by observation, by training, by working under a good, competent person. How to speak, how to deliver a message, how to work in a group, how to maintain group cohesiveness, how to improve our efficiency. And therefore, such transferable skills are the skills that every employee must develop during the course of his training, induction, or at the workplace. Please remember, with the changing work environment, with the coming new age revolution of industries, many skills will be required by every graduate, whether he is a commerce graduate or else. But remember, for a commerce graduate to become more competent, these skills are essential. What are these skills that will be required in fourth industrial revolution? I will explain this point with only one example as to how creative thinking, critical analysis, and a different way of approach to problem solving helps. This is a small story. There was a shepherd who used to carry a group of animals every day from one particular place to other through a jungle. And every day he used to follow a long path because of which he was always feeling tired and sometimes afraid of the environment of the jungle. One day, while passing through the jungle, he noticed that one of the calf was missing. However, when the journey was over, he noticed that the calf was there ahead of others. He was surprised. Next day again, and third day he watched the calf instead of the herd. He noticed that the calf has developed a new route. He has rather searched for a new route which was short, simple, and very quick. So naturally, the shepherd also started going through that route along with his herd. What happened? After that, many others passed and they followed the same path. And then that became a major road. a highway. The question is, who invented it? The shepherd or the calf? We often are dominated by the routes invented by the calves who really do not know. But then they have used their brain. Please remember. So then comes the next question is life skills. Every employee, every person must possess certain life skills. What are these life skills? The skills that make you a good person, a complete person. The skills that help you to develop your holistic personality. And we keep on adding these skill sets with every change in the age level, with every change in the job level, with every change in the institution, and even the environment in which we are working. Certain skills are learned during our childhood, certain skills are learned in our college, and some skills we learn in our during the course of our employment. These are the different life skills. Again, problem solving and negotiation. But the most important life skills are interpersonal relations, how we behave with others. Many times it so happens that someone joins our group after 2 months' time or 3 months' time. We find him a foreign element. We do not like that person unless until he shows interest in our activities. And then slowly we develop friendship. This is interpersonal relations. Self-awareness. Many of us may have a good number of different types of competencies, which we have never realized. We have not even understood ourselves. Self-awareness helps us to know what are the qualities that I possess and how better I can explore them. And most important thing is empathy. Please remember, if you cannot become human to others, you will never succeed in long run. Life skills are ability to change our behavior in a positive manner to adapt to new environment. It is a mental and emotional well-being of an individual. Please remember, many of us are good in terms of skills, in terms of caliber, in terms of competencies, but we are mentally sick. We cannot tolerate others. We cannot work with others. Often the question of ego becomes dominant. Remember, with such problems, you will never succeed. You will never become a good leader. A person who wants to become a good leader, a person who wants to become a good organizational man, must change his attitude and must develop a proactive, positive approach. One of the important life skill is achievement motivation. I will explain this later, but try to understand what are others. Urge for success, creative thinking, self-motivation, and persistent behavior. I will explain what achievement motivation is. This is a study taken by a very famous Nobel laureate, David McClelland. He studied the textbooks of middle school goer students in developing and developed countries. And he noticed a very important difference. The difference was the school goers in developing countries were told that life is governed by destiny. You cannot change it. You cannot do anything. You cannot achieve anything because God has already decided what should be done to you, and you will get what your destiny says, not what your efforts help you to achieve. Whereas in Western countries, exactly reverse. Destiny definitely matters, but you can overcome destiny through efforts. You can write your luck, you can write your fortune. Provided you work, you are desirous, you are curious, and you are interested in doing it. Efforts, efficiency, dedication, and determination definitely matters. So this is a change in approach because of which our level of motivation often is decided. Many of us do not try for a good job, saying that, "Arey, mere luck mein nahi hai. This is not in my luck. Arey, I am not able." Who told you? You try. There is a very famous story of a salesperson. The salesperson was working in an organization where many others were also working, and there was a very smart, good-looking girl. So this salesperson was very ordinary looking person, but of course very smart. Suddenly, his colleagues noticed that he has married with that smart, good-looking girl, and they were surprised. One day, one of them, out of curiosity, asked him, "How you could do this?" He said, "No one asked her, I asked." Achievement motivation, that really matters. How to develop life skills? First, thinking skills. Please remember, take different games, play different types of puzzles, solve different types of riddles, and automatically you will notice that you have developed thinking skills. I will give just one example to prove my point. There is one game called as Tangram. Small 7 pieces with the help of which you can make a large number of figures. You try this, initially you will find it very difficult. But the more you practice, more you will learn. that adds to your thinking skills. Most important thing is right kind of goal setting. Many of us have competencies, abilities. Many of you might have noticed that you are good to perform certain things, undertake different types of courses, learn new knowledge, languages. But we often feel that ये तो बाद में कर लेंगे. We can do it afterwards. We need not do it right now. We fail to set a goal that no, within months time, I will learn this. I will master this. Within 2 months time, I will overcome this problem. Unless and until there is a strong dedication and goal setting, we cannot achieve anything in our life. Body language is very important. It adds to your personality. It explains what kind of person you are. Your postures, your gestures, your facial expressions, eye contact. Many of us fail to make contact with others through eyes. We are afraid of them. You might have seen one movie, Enter the Dragon. In this movie, there is a small piece of guidance. Whenever you are fighting with others, whenever you are negotiating with others, whenever you are talking to others, look into their eyes. Eyes speak more than words. That help you to enrich your confidence. Very important thing for a commerce graduate is a presentation skill. How effectively we plan, prepare, present our ideas, how well we speak with others, what kind of physical posture we present whenever we are talking to others. Many of us often lean their neck and just look at the ground for no reasons. It indicates that a person doesn't have a confidence. Whenever we are talking, we stammer, not because we have a habit to stammer. We do not have that desired confidence level. And whenever we are using electronic media, please see to it that nothing unwarranted was ever shown. A good set of good communication skill always helps a person, and communication always, of course, is oral, written, and non-verbal. We should master this. In this program of MCOM, we can master all these communication skills, for which we can request our teachers to provide training or organize short-term training programs on different types of communication skills, which the department which very willingly and gladly organize for all of us. Then there are interpersonal skills. Remember, every group, when we join that group, is always foreign to us. That doesn't mean the members of that group are our enemies. That doesn't mean they will never be our friends. But please remember, your organizational success depends on how you present yourself, what kind of manners we have, what kind of etiquettes we have, how we listen to others, how we express our ideas, and to what extent we are assertive in nature. Do we take everything in a unwarranted manner, in a wrong way? Do we take everything in a leaning manner? No, we have to change our approach. We have to be sometimes bold, clear, and of course, expressing our views in a right manner. Very important thing is teamwork. Please remember, whenever you are new in an organization, teamwork is the thing that will be assessed during your initial performance. Can you work with different type of people? You may join an organization where Bengalis or Madrasis or Kannads or North Indians are large in number and you are alone, you are different. That doesn't mean they are your enemies. How can you assimilate? How can you work with them? How can you develop friendship? How can you exchange your ideas and views politely and rightly with such kind of different types of work, different types of people with different cultural background? That decides how well you fit in a team. Sometimes people have extraordinary competencies, but they cannot work in a team, and therefore they are not required. They are removed not because they fail in achieving their targets. They fail to maintain group cohesiveness. What is team? Team is together, everyone achieves more. That is the spirit of team. You might have read one novel, Three Musketeers. The principle of this novel is very important to understand the importance of teamwork. All for one and one for all. And if at all you follow this, you always succeed in your life. Then there are certain skills which are rightly called as professional skills. Professional skills are required in a different way for different professions. All the professions require certain specific skills that help you to succeed in that profession. A commerce graduate usually becomes an accountant, a secretary, a manager, an administrator, or someone who represents a HR or marketing or finance department. Naturally, he must possess certain professional skills. Most of the times, professional skills are related with the kind of profession that we undertake. However, certain professional skills are always common. Basically, and the most important is listening skills. Many people cannot listen to others. They often turn a deaf ear for no reasons. When someone is speaking, we start also speaking. That means we show that we are not interested in listening to him. When someone is speaking, we look at sky. Wrong. This indicates that we are not interested and we insult the person who is speaking. How efficiently we present our ideas, how well we can converse with others. Sometimes people who use some words which we do not like, that doesn't mean we should insult them. We should understand them because people may have different meanings for different words, may have different perceptions. And most important thing is a social skill. Please remember, to be sociable is a essential quality for success in every profession. Professional skills help a person in various ways. It helps to face challenges. Basically, every profession, every business, every organization often poses certain challenges initially, to which we call teething troubles. We can overcome these challenges provided we understand how to work in that given profession. It helps you to solve problems in a systematic manner. We can become proactive, we can imagine, we can understand, and we can predict the things before they really occur, and because of which we can solve such problems very effectively. We learn new techniques of solving the problems only when we acquire requisite professional skills. A good professional manager, a good professional officer is a person, a good professional is a person who can develop his own team. Initially, we may not be knowing people who are around us, but we can definitely befriend with them. We can develop our own group. We can find out what are the areas of conflict and how to overcome such conflicts or debatable issues. We can solve the disputes if we can develop a technique of conflict management, and with foreigners, with outsiders, we can develop right kind of negotiation skills. Then there are certain social skills. Social skills are related with interpersonal relations. Please remember, if we are getting a chance to work in a large organization, interpersonal skills matter because we have to deal with a large number of internal as well as external publics. But if it is a small organization, then naturally interpersonal relations matter a lot, rather more, because we have to deal with those small number of persons, but we have to understand and depend on them for a variety of reasons. It is only effective communication and cooperative approach that can help you to acquire desired social skills. Your social skills will decide your impact level, what kind of impression you have created on outsiders within your organization, on your superiors and your peers. It will help you to develop a right kind of adaptability and a quality orientation. People know you by your work, the manner in which you keep the company, the manner in which you deal with people. Many times people are having different nicknames because of their style, their attitude, and their habits. And sometimes these nicknames indicate the kind of social skills that a person usually possesses. This is an explanation of what is
When
the
it
difference
comes to
between work skills.
they can be broken down into two types: hard skills and soft skills. They're pretty different from one another, but both are necessary to be successful on the job. Let's take a look at the differences between the two. Hard skills are concrete skills that are specific to your job and are required for you to actually do your work. For example, if you're a chef, cooking would be a hard skill. Or if you're a computer programmer, coding would be an example. Soft skills, on the other hand, are interpersonal or people skills that can be used in every job. These include communication, teamwork, and adaptability. Hard skills are generally learned through school, training, or previous work experience. They're more objective, meaning that once you've learned the information or task, you would then possess that skill. Soft skills are more difficult to develop. You'll need to practice them over time in the real world with others. They come naturally to some people, while others may not have such an easy time with them. Hard skills are easy to measure. Employers can get a good idea of your hard skills by looking at your education, previous experience, and certifications. Soft skills are harder to evaluate. they can't really be communicated well through your cover letter or resume. Instead, employers usually have to wait until an interview or your first few weeks on the job to get a good idea of your soft skills. Despite their differences, you'll need both hard and soft skills if
Now, how to develop soft skills? First of all, as explained right now, soft skills are out of your experience, understanding, perception, and maturity level. Please try to understand. Develop a technique of making right decisions. Do not jump to conclusions immediately. Decide before you talk as what you want to say or what you do not want to say. That will improve your communication ability. Create a favorable impression that will develop your interpersonal relations and make a desired impact that will help you to work in a group, diversified group, different groups in an effective manner. The basic test of soft skill is self-awareness. Many times it is a common experience that we go with our prejudices, our imaginations, our understanding of ourselves, which is not realistic, because of which we cannot work in a group. Whenever we enter an organization with flying certifications, we feel that I am the best person, I am the only person. But then we slowly and gradually realize, no, there are many others far better than us. So recognition of our own self. Another important aspect is character. How you deal with people, how you talk to them is only one aspect of it. But what is your approach? What is your mindset? What kind of habits you have cultivated decides your character. And a rational emotional strength. Don't fall to prey to just certain prejudices, certain biases, or certain whims and wheels of others. Study and evaluate them very carefully, rationally. Sometimes a person says something but intends something else. And therefore, we should understand their likes and dislikes, their emotions, and then we should rationally evaluate. That will always help you to develop a right self-awareness. There are certain more professional skills. One very important professional skill is assertiveness. Many times you are tempted to say yes or no immediately, but don't do that. Say what is right. People may not like it initially, but if you really want to succeed in a business, in a profession, in an organization, then be honest to your opinions. Be truthful to your cause and tell what is just, what is appropriate. Do not tell just to satisfy someone else what is wrong, because that may give you initial lift, that may give you initial advantage. But in long run, people will say you are deceptive in nature. One more important skill is leadership. What is leadership? It is very simple. It is the level of accepting responsibility. Many people shirk this. They do not want to accept any responsibility. They wait for others to do it. Remember, those who wait for others to perform a task, to accept a challenge, usually are cowards. Those who do not dare to be with two or three are the people who are not required in the organization in long run. A good leader is a person who trusts others, shares his ideas, improves their work performance along with his own, and makes right kind of decisions. And that are the things which are very simple to learn if you really desire to do so. Many organizations expect people to work independently, think independently, and naturally, because of which problem solving becomes an essential skill of life. Please try to understand. Problem solving is just not offering solutions. It is understanding situations, evaluating various courses of actions, and selecting a right, rather selecting the best, rather suggesting the best. Please remember, every time one may not be able to solve the problem, but if he makes an attempt, honest attempt, people understand his genuineness, people understand his integrity, and sometimes the solution may not be available, but the approach with which we look at the problem helps us to solve the problem in long run. Creative thinking, I have explained this, but please try to understand. Most of us fail for want of creative thinking. We often fail to use our competence level in the best possible manner. We often may have a solution. We often may have a different approach which is useful and effective. But then what happens? We wait for others. And then suddenly we say, Arey, I was knowing this. Oh, I know this. I knew this. But then if at all we knew this, then why we have not tried? Many times the solutions, right solutions given by others are found very easy. Please remember, in most of the real life situations, right solutions are always easy. But we fail to use our ability to think. We fail to use our ability to solve the problem, and therefore we do not become creative in nature. Another important aspect is critical thinking. Please remember, organizations do not want yes men. No business organization likes people who can say yes to everything. On the contrary, organizations prefer a person who is honest and objective in his approach. He may not be a straightforward and very sharp in speaking. He may not be criticizing others, but he is ready to say what is right in a right manner. He shows an attitude and behavior which helps to solve the problem in a desired manner. That becomes critical thinking. Now, most of the commerce graduates will have a chance to become manager in some or other organization, for which they require managerial skills or management skills. You might have heard one word in English called as dexterous, but I want to use one word which is called as ambidextrous. Dexterous means a skilled person. Ambidextrous is a person who can use his both hands. Ambidextrous is a manager who can solve different types of problems, who can perform different types of jobs. I have seen many persons who work very efficiently as HR manager, and then they are transferred to marketing and still they are successful. They initially work with accountancy or accounting department, and then they are transferred to some other department. There also they perform their jobs effectively because they are always proactive. They are ready to learn new skills. They are ready to prove their ability, and they have that desired acumen to solve the problem, which can be acquired through experience, through understanding, through reading, and through evaluating different options. So, what skills as a manager, a commerce graduate must possess? He should have three skills. First is conceptual, that is understanding the situation properly. Human skills, that is behaving with our subordinates, peers, and superiors in a right manner, maintaining his own level and at the same time maintaining right group relations. And technical skills, the skills required to perform a job in an efficient manner, the skills that help you to become superior over others, the skills that prove that you know and understand a task and you can do it well. Like this, please try to understand. Sorry, I could not play this. Okay. Then there is another concept which is called as multi-scaling. What is multi-scaling? Please remember, the word ambidextrous is related with multi-scaling. A person who can perform multiple jobs, who possesses multiple skills, multiple ways to solve the problems, to do various types of activities or functions. Many times, the concept of functional barrier is now removed in many organizations. Please try to understand. Today, we are having matrix form of organizations. I hope you have studied this form of organization in your BCom. Organizations which are almost flat in nature. People perform different jobs according to the situation, according to the requirement. They do not say, I can only do this and I will only do this. Most of the managers or officers are ready to share and work in a coordinated manner, cohesive manner, because they know jobs of each other and rather they can contribute to solve a complex problem in different ways. Naturally, multi-scaling helps to increase workforce flexibility. A person can be taken from one department to another and still he works or performs his job efficiently. Today, the world has come to this conclusion that only the people with multiple skills usually have a chance to do a wide variety of jobs, chance to survive in long run. Now, why should we develop this multi-skill approach? Because it is an important way to develop a right kind of work culture, to enhance employability, especially for commerce graduate. A commerce graduate already during his MCOM has learned many disciplines related with commerce, marketing, finance, business, administration, and likewise. So it is easy for a commerce graduate to become a multi-skilled person. That try to understand new types of jobs will require new types of work systems. Please try to understand. I shall give one small example to prove my point. 15 years ago, a stenotypist was appointed in one organization. He was knowing how to accept or rather take dictation and how to type it. But very next year, computers came and his job became redundant. Naturally, he would have faced a problem of leaving the job. No, he learned computers, he learned the techniques of data mining, data processing, information sharing, and developing a right kind of MIS for the organization. In a very short period, he became a very competent information officer for the organization. Whenever we acquire new skills, because please remember, technology is going to outplace many jobs. Many jobs will become redundant. That doesn't make a man redundant. Job becomes redundant, not man. Provided the person acquires skills. And if you possess multiple skills, naturally, you improve your acceptability. Organizations expect now every person to have multiple set of skills because that reduces attrition rate, that reduces hiring expenses, that leads to cost cutting, because if a person can perform multiple jobs, naturally you do not require different types of person for different jobs. We do not require an office clerk, an accountant, and a cashier and a tailor. If at all you have seen the old age banks, there used to be a tailor, there used to be a cashier, there used to be an accountant, a treasurer, and even a clerk. But today all these jobs are clubbed. It has become one job. 5 jobs are mixed into one. This is always going to happen with every advancement in technology. And therefore, multi-skilling has become the watchword of the day. So who should possess multiple skills? Managerial staff, commerce graduates, sales officers, sales force, administrative staff, technical staff. Almost 75% of the jobs belong to commerce stream, provided the commerce graduates acquire multiple set of skills. There is a certain advantages of multiple skilling. You develop a flexible workflows. It is easy to change from one job to another. Another important thing, if a person has multiple skills, he can work in a rotational manner. He can adapt to talent of different types and he can enhance his employability from one organization to another. Please remember, if one wants to survive in a competitive world, if one wants to go ahead in spite of competition, multiple skills are always required. These are the techniques of multiple skilling. First, it's coaching. Remember, during your commerce education program, you can learn different types of language like German, French, or whatever. You can work in an industry during your summer placement or during your internship. You can learn certain skills only through online courses. I can give a list of at least 150 different online courses of 1 month or 15 days duration that you can learn, including bird watching. And you can work on different projects. You please request your teachers to give different projects regarding study of market, success or failure of a particular product, how a particular organization works, how financial systems in an organization work. All these things help you to do and learn many things. You cannot say that I will learn after getting a job. Before getting a job, if you learn new things, you automatically broaden your skill sets. Please remember, people who know multiple skills, who can broaden their skill sets, they have a cross skilling. That is, they can perform multiple jobs, they can do various things. Nowadays, in a cricket team also, we need all-rounders, batsman and bowler. You cannot say I am only a bowler and I can still survive. No. Best of the successful players are always all-rounders. Best of the successful managers are all-rounders. They work in different environment with different skills, and because of which they make their mark or impression. There is another word which I need to emphasize and rather tell you to understand what is the likely future of your job, and that is depth skilling. Please remember, in 1990 or 99 or 2000, when I was a young man, I started learning computers. I studied a basic program through one of the government of Maharashtra's organization, and I thought that I'm very good at computers. Within 2 years, a next generation computers came, and the jobs, the things that I knew about computers were performed by the computer itself. So I realized that no, I do not have right understanding of computers. There used to be floppy disk and then CDs, etc. Now everything has gone. Pen drives came, and also even the pen drives are gone. With every advancement of technology and new generation of computers, new skills, new programs, new languages, new softwares are required. The more you learn about a skill, the more you learn in depth about a particular skill to make yourself expert in that field. That is depth skilling, acquisition of complex knowledge. And remember, the more you acquire complex knowledge, the more you become indispensable in organization. Everyone cannot. And therefore, there is one more thing related with the job, which every commerce graduate must always keep in mind, and that is professional ethics. Please remember, your success doesn't depend merely on your skill sets. How right, rational, objective, honest you are whenever you are doing your jobs. These four qualities are called as professional ethics. You should think in a right manner for the betterment of the organization. You should put your heart whenever you are doing a job. You should not shirk, and you should always try to have coordinated efforts with your colleagues and friends. That will always make you indispensable. Now, how can we develop skills? Please remember, it is easy to talk about skills, but it is equally important that we should learn to develop skills. First of all, learn from experts. Take cue from experts in the field, their ideas as what are the new skills that will be required in next 5 years, next 10 years. Learn from their opinions, their lectures, and start acquiring them. Second important thing, very important. There are many institutions and agencies that offer formal programs along with your regular syllabus, your regular study and curriculum, which you can do after your program, regular course hours, which will help you to improve your understanding, such as BCL, British Council. They offer program in marketing at 3 levels, basic, diploma, and advanced diploma. They offer program in learning English IELTS. That is very good. If any one of you has not yet joined IELTS, I will request you to complete 3 levels of IELTS. That will make you a English person well versed with English language and acceptable at international level. You can learn various foreign languages from different institutions. You can learn different computational techniques, different aspects related with computers, hardware, and software. You can learn different ways of solving the problem by taking courses in leadership, critical problem solving or thinking analysis, design thinking, etc. But remember, the person who learns more during his career, during his educational career, has a better chance of acceptability outside. We can develop professional skills through attitude modification. Please remember the most essential thing, modify our attitude. Do not say I know everything. Do not say I do not want to learn. Do not say I am the best. I have learned everything and now no new thing needs to be learned. I cannot learn from X or Y. Always say that yes, everyone matters. From every person I can learn. That is the way to learn. Then effective personal abilities. Share, acquire, transmit, transfer, and enjoy. Present ideas in a right manner. Please remember, initially you will find this very easy, but remember that is the best skill a person can have. A person who can share his ideas in an effective manner usually is liked in a group, usually is liked in an organization. And most important thing, please remove the fear that I cannot speak, I cannot present because someone is superior, someone is great. No, every person has a quality. Every person has an ability which he should develop and demonstrate. Social ethics can be developed by learning about etiquettes. You can request the head of the department to start a program in business etiquettes, and you can easily acquire and master this in just 15 days time. How to work in an organization, how to behave with people, how to say yes and no, both, and of course, how to present. And what are the essential skills while dealing with different types of people, superior, junior, equal, or peer. Positive temperament. Never say I will not. Say I can, I will try. And never have an expression which will rather demotivate others, which will rather say others that I am frustrated with you. No, have a positive expression on your face. One most important aspect of your skill development is flexibility. Please try to understand, people who can adjust with the change usually survive. Many times during the period of storm, big trees fall, small trees survive because they can easily bend. Try to adjust to the change. Try to adjust to the environment. Never say that I will do this and nothing else. If one has this attitude of adamancy, he will not. Please work in a reflective manner. Show that you can perform. Let people say you have done the best and appreciate others also. A person who appreciates others' achievements, performance, qualities usually is liked by others because of his positive approach. Adaptability. Every organization will offer you a new environment. Every industry will offer you a new and different kind of work culture. Every place, every city will have a different work culture system of work. But that doesn't mean you cannot survive, you cannot fit. People who come from rural areas often achieve in flying colors in even the most of the metros because of their adaptability. They learn language, they learn etiquettes, they learn manners and mores of how people speak, how people learn, and how people share ideas. You can start new ideas provided you adapt to the environment. If you are willing to learn, you can change and you can accept new environment. If you are having a positive attitude to transition, yes, I will mold myself, you will win. And therefore, please remember, though there are certain barriers in developing your career, in developing your personality, in acquiring skills, most of the barriers are controllable. There are two major types of barriers: attitudinal, I do not want to learn, I cannot do this, I will never do this, I have never learned this, my father never told me, my brother never told me, others have never done it. These are all attitudinal barriers. Then there are psychological barriers. If I fail, what will happen? Friends, both these barriers are definitely such that we can easily conquer them. We can overcome these barriers, provided we are willing. Willingness is the only way to overcome the barriers. There are some more barriers organizationally. When you join a new organization, people in the organization may not cooperate with you initially, may not help you, may not provide you with desired environment. But remember, every time, everyone whosoever has worked in a different organization initially has always faced this problem. You are not the first to face this problem. Then there are philosophical barriers. We often go with our own ideas, with our own wheels, and our principles. Please remember, these things are good, but we should have that flexibility to share our views with others and also learn others' views in a right manner. And then there are structural barriers. Sometimes I may not be knowing a particular language. I may not might not have acquired a particular skill. I may not have acquired a particular I may not have understood a particular system of work. That doesn't mean I will not learn. I will not understand it. If I try, gradually I will definitely understand this. So what are the measures to improve your skills and your ability to work in different organizations? First, develop awareness. What is the organization? What is the kind of business? What is the kind of job? How can and in what way I can do it better? Develop a right infrastructure in terms of knowledge, ability, and skills, and develop a right approach towards opportunities. Opportunities never come to anyone. We have to search them. And opportunities always come in workloads. Please remember, if you work more, you get more opportunities. So there are certain right ways to stay ahead. First, remove your ignorance. Many times we may not be knowing certain things. That doesn't mean we will never know it. That doesn't mean we will not be able to understand it. That doesn't mean we will not be able to learn it. The only barrier is psychological. Generate awareness. How? Why? Read papers, read newspapers, read books, understand profiles of successful persons, learn from experience of others, learn from mistakes and success of others, create a right knowledge base about the job, about the skills, about your own field of work, and inculcate learning habits. Very essential thing. Those who keep on learning, they grow. I know of a old woman of 72 years who started learning music at the fag end of her life. When asked a question, why you want to learn? She said, in the next birth, I will become a good musician. What a great confidence. What a great desire to learn. There are many such people around us who keep on learning, who keep on acquiring knowledge, not for this birth, for the next birth. Not now, but for some time other, for some difficulties that they may face, for some challenges that may encounter with them. And therefore, please try to learn continuously, find new things, learn new things, and make new things happen. You will be successful in your life. So the most easy way to become effective and relevant in any work environment, in any challenging situation, is called as EASE. EASE. Expect, adapt, survive, and make an impact. When you expect, you can anticipate the change. You can face the challenge. You can face every challenge because you are proactive. You have an open mind and therefore you can learn. When you adapt to it, you develop a vision. You can set a goal which can be changed, which can be enhanced gradually. You can overcome the challenge because you go with the change and you are ahead of others. When you try to survive, you acknowledge new development, new challenges, and you immediately start finding out new ways and means to develop it, to overcome it. You automatically enhance your potentials, you improve your caliber, which is a part of your mindset, which is a part of your skill set. And you develop your own world, which is a world of success, which is a world of bright future. And most important thing, when you examine the impact, you feel that threat is a universal phenomenon. Everyone has some threats, everyone has some challenges, but we will not be afraid of change. If you can face the challenge, you can definitely get a satisfaction of achieving something. Though slow, but in a steady manner, you can become a successful person. What is a successful person after all? Like this: a person who can do well, a person who can achieve many things. So let us be career oriented. Let us be a person with right set of skills to improve our performance, personality, and the presentation of our knowledge in a right manner to become a successful organizational man. I'm sure many of us will be most dominant persons in the industry because of their skills, and they will make their mark, their impression, to prove that this department has provided them right opportunities to make a successful person. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you may please ask me. If you have any questions, you may please ask me. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
My friends, if you have any questions, you please ask. Do not hesitate. I can answer them in Marathi, English, Hindi, or even sometimes Gujarati also.
Okay. Sir, only your PPT is not visible.
Because it has come to an end. Was it not visible earlier?
Yeah, it was visible, sir. It was visible. Yeah, it is. Okay,
Now
sir.
I have just closed it. This is the
Okay.
last slide.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Yes, dear students, you have anything to ask him, please? Questions to ask him?
Let me share you with one thing, that there are a large number of courses available free of cost online. You have to just search for the right course and you can take it, but you will not be given certification if you are not joining the course with payment. If you make necessary payments, you also get a certification which is counted in business organizations. And now the age of offline learning has almost ended. Online learning also is equally important and is acknowledged by every industry. A large number of skills can be learned during this program in these 2 years time, and you can become far better than others. And further, very important thing, don't ever think that institutions matters, persons matter. One may have studied from IIM but may not have desired skill sets, and one may have studied from Pune University Department of Commerce but may prove himself superior. How and what you are will matter, not where you are from. That will ever matter. Anyway, any question? If not, then I'm really thankful to you for patient listening. I hope you have listened to me, and I expect good responses from you.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for such an enlightening lecture and such an impactful and creative and really very nice. We really enjoyed the lecture. I personally enjoyed the lecture so much, sir.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, sir. So I'll get back to you for the next lecture, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Please. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so I just take the attendance down. Download attendance and then yeah, I have downloaded the attendance. You can leave. The lecture comes to an end.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh, 16, 17.